Hey everybody, welcome to your Indie Snapshot for today. Today we're going to be looking at a game that I've actually been playing for a while now, and actually been out for a while, and this is going to be Awesomenauts. And to help illustrate this game into its full potential, I brought along a partner. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, my good friend.
Hey guys, I'm Joby, friend of Mathis, and I have nothing interesting to say.
He's been a subscriber since the very early days of my channel, which is like StarCraft Cast, and he was probably around from what? Since how many subscribers?
About 20.
20, yeah, exactly. Long time ago, over a year ago easily. So, we're going to be talking about Awesomenauts. The reason I actually have the music off is because I'm going to be competing with audio for Josh's voice and this game, so you're not going to hear any music. Looks like a lot of people are playing and disconnecting and connecting. Right off the bat, it looks like we have a lot of money to spend, so let me do that. So, the reason I brought Josh along on this Indie Snapshot is because we've both been playing the MOBA genre for a very long time. We've been playing everything from League of Legends. I play a lot of Dota 2 now, and we kind of have this ability to talk a little bit about what exactly are the pros and cons of this game, and what makes this game fun, what makes it bad, and I think it'll be good. So it looks like we already have some problems here. Okay, easy enough. So before I get into my thoughts, what exactly are your thoughts on the game so far?
It's pretty damn good. The only major problem is imbalance with a certain champion.
And what champion would that be?
The little zergling bastard that seems to be able to two-shot everything.
That would be Gnaw, I think.
Yep, him.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I agree. I wholly agree with you. Gnaw is extremely... I don't want to say broken. It just seems to be the theme with this game, is that it favors fun over balance. And I know that statement kind of makes no sense, as in a lot of MOBAs, balance equals fun. And we kind of jumped into a losing game here, by the way.
Yep.
So we might swing into another one after this, but you know, again, I know it kind of seems like a contradicting statement with the whole balance, you know, equals fun situation, but it's not. It's the way this game is designed is, you know, the way I was describing it to Josh before when I first started playing this game, and I'm gonna describe it again, is ooh, I might die here. Hang on. Oh, we killed each other. Is you look at League of Legends and you take Tryndamere, for example. Tryndamere, the way he's described and the way he's brought about into the game is this barbarian who could kill anything that gets in his way, right? And imagine if that's how he played. If that's exactly how he played in the game, the way his lore describes him, Josh, you know, was telling me before, is he would what? He would one-shot people, right?
Pretty much.
And so obviously for balance reasons, that doesn't happen. But this game...
unless he's got 20 kills.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, unless he has 20 kills 5 minutes into the game. But that doesn't really happen, and it doesn't really happen for a reason. It just brings this no fun atmosphere to this game, and that's not what that's not what League of Legends want to do as a competitive title and as a fun title. Now with Awesomenauts, you're looking at a game that has a very limited selection of heroes, and with that, you need to make sure that a lot of the heroes are balanced, because ultimately you're going to only have, you know, 18 heroes to choose from, so you're going to see a lot of repetition in the hero choices. There's not going to be a lot of hard counters, if any counters at all. So one overpowered hero can easily break the game. And we're kind of seeing that, and I think that's what my biggest, if not only, complaint about this game is that one broken hero can break the game hard. And we were talking about Gnaw, and you know, what is your experience having gone against him? Like, what is his biggest problems?
You can walk past one of his turrets and end up getting half-elfed in 2 shots, pretty much from the start.
Yep. And
and he can place them pretty much anywhere instantly. No upgrades, and they will just maul you.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, his biggest problem, I would say, is his turrets. Not to say that he doesn't have other problems. He definitely does have other problems. His poison damage is kind of ridiculous. They kind of need to balance. Either he needs to be really good at placing turrets or really good with his poison damage. He can kind of be good at both, even if he doesn't spec specifically for one or the other. And you know, it's going to be hard to commentate here and fight Froggy G, but I think it's going to be possible. He's not trying to run away from me. All right, there we go. So the other problems I have with this game are, it's. I think actually that might be the only problem. The biggest problem I have with this game is just its champions are not balanced, and that can break the game really hard. Don't get me wrong, this game is a lot of fun, as Josh was saying. Particularly, Josh, what do you think this game is? What's so fun about this game for you?
It's got a rather high-paced form of combat as opposed to most MOBA games. You're actually aiming and jumping around, using a lot of dynamic abilities, and it's very fluid. And that does make it incredibly fun. But again, it's hindered by the fact that it's not actually balanced, so you can outplay someone and still lose.
Yep, it's actually just going to be going there. The skill in this game is required more so than pretty much a lot of other MOBAs, just because it's a very Twitch-based MOBA, which again I really like. It requires some fast reflexes, and because we're going up against a lot of bots right now, I think we might end up winning this. And Durple is really, really good. And that's what I like. That's what I like a lot about this game, is that the Twitch-based gameplay is really, really solid. The platforming required to maybe escape some really, really tight spots, I guess would be the right way of saying it, are pretty quick. You need to be able to react on a dime, and if you don't, you can end up dying. Now, granted, like you were saying, particular heroes can kind of negate that with how powerful they are, and I really think that needs to be addressed at some point. But overall, let's being that our one barring negative into this game so far, let's talk a little bit more about the overall positives. I don't know about you, but I love the art style and the designs of these champions and heroes.
Oh, definitely. It is a very nice cartoony art style. It works well, and it's designed in such a way that you can still pick out champions from the environment very easily, even though there are a few areas where they do blend in color palette-wise.
Yeah, there are a few areas, but like you said, they're kind of few and far between. They do lend itself to this aura of the game doesn't take itself seriously, and I think that's the idea. They kind of wanted to make this fun game that is not really worried on the competitive scene, and they've done a really good job conveying that with the art style of the game. The other things I like about the game is the abilities for the champions are fucking a blast. They're an absolutely
they are fantastic.
Really, really fun. For example, I don't know where you are, but you're playing the Space Cowboy, right? Do you have the Space Bull ability? Yeah, that right there. That's awesome. I love that. As you send off a holographic Space Bull that pushes people back, and you can spec it to have a bomb strapped to it, which I did see you had. So it explodes on impact or on destruction. There it goes again. You can see the bomb right there, and then it explodes.
It's also got a slow and bind effect on it as
well.
So
you can make your abilities really, really fun. One of my favorite heroes is Voltar. He's basically a pure support. He could drop this healing turret. One of our allies just died to a bot. Send this thing off. See if we can kill off Froggy G, or if he's stupid enough to stick around. He is stupid enough to stick around. Other fun abilities that I've played particularly, I'm trying to think of like the most fun that I've had with an ability. Voltar is one of my favorites. He's not like the most ridiculous abilities. Clunk is... Have you played Clunk yet?
Yeah, he's got the vampire
Yeah,
bite.
He's got a vampire bite, like a robotic vampire bite, and he's able to... I mean, his abilities aren't extraordinarily... I don't want to say they're unique, because they're not extraordinarily unique. But they're fun, because you can spec that vampire bite, like I said, to heal you more, to have you increase your health every time you use it. Yep, there's the bastard. Let's see if we can... Oh, there's it, and he can also explode, which is kind of cool. But out of all the heroes, what I was getting to with Clunk is he's... Yeah, you barely got out of there. Oh my god, dude. Clunk is the I want to say he's probably the least original as far as abilities are concerned, which honestly isn't saying too much because his abilities are still pretty cool. I mean, if you can look at me playing right now, Durple's main attack is he shoots kittens out of his gun, and they meow. He can drop down. He has two modes. He has regular mode and like tank mode. In regular mode, he can drop down these binding things that if an enemy walks into it, they get stuck. And he can just turn into a turret, which does this. I get a shield, and I can shoot off really powerful freaking missiles that home in on enemies and do a metric ass ton of damage. Let's see if we can ward them off here. Alright, so it looks like they're going to be pushing in pretty... Oh, see, there we go. Clunk just got stuck.
Alright, you have fun there. I'm going to go back.
Yep, sounds good. I'm going to try and ward them off. I mean, turret mode is pretty nice. And it looks like Leon is going to try to fight off. One of the other things I like about the game that, alright, I'm kind of torn about it, let's put it that way. I like it and I don't like it. It's not actually the best, is the idea behind if your team is not full, they replace it with bots.
Yeah, that just makes the bots commit suicide, and then the enemy team gets fed, and you lose a chance of recovery.
Yeah, it definitely, as you can see, the enemy team is, I think, all bots right now. Yeah, they're all bots. For whatever reason, we walked into a losing game, and there were bots beating them, so I don't know what the hell is going on there. But bots can kind of ruin the game. I like the idea. Wow, our Nexus is basically one hit away. So I'm going to see if we can sneak in backdoor here.
Yeah, I tried it. Pulled all the bots back.
Alright. This Clunk. Whoa. Okay, he's gonna try and blow up on me, and he succeeded.
Yep, need a hand?
Yeah, I'm just gonna... let's see if we can kill this guy off. Come on! Oh, ow! Oh, he fully healed me, that's awesome. Okay. What was I talking about? I apologize.
I have no idea.
Alright, so we're gonna talk about... So we were talking about abilities, whatever. So we'll talk about other things. Maybe I'll remember. Level design. This game is awesome. Oh no, we were talking about bots. That for some reason reminded me of the bots. So the bot situation. I almost would prefer it if they didn't. Alright, I'm backdooring. I'm gonna end up dying, but it's fine. I died. So the bots by design are a good idea. Somebody jumps out of a game. Instead of being down a player, especially in a MOBA that's 3 versus 3, they want you to be able to try to have a fighting chance still, which is a good idea. The problem is the AI is about as good as the League of Legends AI.
No, the League of Legends AI is a lot better.
You think so? I think they're. I still think
they've spent some time reworking it, and they're actually half competent now.
Okay. Well, then I may be wrong there. So. It's what I'm trying to get at is they're horrendous. So instead of being helpful, they end up being a big hindrance to the team because they literally just feed the enemy. They just kind of go in and kill. Like you've seen, we kind of came into this losing game where it was all bots, and the fact that we're still alive right now and able to mildly hold them back is kind of ridiculous. It shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't even be dying. Look, they have one hit to go on the Nexus, and they can't even get that in. I'm just firing off missiles and just sitting here in turret form where they could just easily jump over me and win. And just win, straight up.
They will just shoot over your head and get it done.
Right, exactly. Like, it's just that simple.
But
so
there's probably a middle ground where you can have the bots not wander out and feed, but still, like, guard the actual
yeah,
place.
I agree. There definitely is a middle ground somewhere.
There are at the moment, they will run in 3v1 and just give the enemy a bunch of souls.
Yep. And that is not what you want to happen in this game. So, again, a good idea, but a failed... What's up?
And he can't because he's getting blocked by one creep.
Oh, exactly. So next, the only other topic I really want to hit about this game is the level design. The ability, the game that has essentially multiple layers and multiple levels. Each level has something unique about it. There's one that has like a gravity vortex kind of in the middle of it. And we lost. Finally. That should have... Oh, I know it was not... It was just a minion. And you're there for everybody to see and be shamed about.
Yep. So,
the last thing I want to hit before we call this Indie Snapshot a wrap is the fact that the game's level design is unique. I like it a lot. There's what, 3 levels, I believe? And they each have something unique about it. There's always a different layout, whether the Nexus has 2 turrets near it and only 1 turret leading into it, or there's 2 separate lanes with 2 turrets, and each one kind of has something unique about it in the fact that there's one level that in the middle of the map there is like a gravity problem where basically jumping in that certain area is a lot more floaty, so it allows for a lot more maneuverability, a lot more crazy kind of like jumping battles if you're playing fighting players. There's one level that has the worm. Have you been there? The one with the worm?
Yep.
It's awesome. There's literally a button. It's in the bottom of the map at the center. And there's this giant, like, circular, like, metal plate. And there's a button right above it. If you jump on the button, this giant, like, tremors worm, essentially, comes out and eats and kills everything instantly directly above it. I can't tell you how many times I've been killed by that from a player because I wasn't thinking.
It's also got a bit of brush above it that makes who's ever inside it invisible so they can drop down directly onto it. And the plate where he pops through spawns a bunch of gold solar, so you want to go through it, but someone can just camp it and insta-kill you.
Yeah, that's right. It's like kind of like a bait and trap. And then the third level, the one that I've seen, is the unique thing about that one is actually kind of minor. Every so often, there's this little pod near your base that counts up to the number 3. And there's a button on top of it. And you jump on top of it, and it releases 3 flying minions who do extra damage or are extra tanky. And I like that because you can kind of use it to press your advantage or in a defensive spot. The problem I've run into is people don't really think about it too much, and they kind of just press on the button whenever there's numbers up. They're like, oh, there's a minion, press the button. And they kind of just let the droid go. I don't
know too much about Dota 2, but that would be essentially creep pulling, wouldn't it?
No, because
if you need to hold a particularly hard push, you can release the minions and they'll help compensate for it.
No, because creep pulling is it's weird. The Dota 2's creep pulling mechanics are extremely intricate, and you do it for millions of different reasons. Whether you're a support and need just some XP or whatever, I don't really want to get into it. It
was the best parable I could come up with.
No, and I mean
it is certainly a unique mechanic that is interesting, but the fact that the player base is
it's the player base in Awesomenauts.
Casual.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going through. The player base in Awesomenauts is of the casual variety, and I mean that's what they were targeting, so that makes sense. I don't expect to see Awesomenauts at an MLG ever. I don't expect them to see tournaments ever. I mean, the game is meant to just kind of jump in, play a quick game. Games can last, maybe 20, 25 minutes at most, and it's over, which I like. It's definitely a fun game, though. I like it a lot. I think that's kind of my final verdict. I know I'm a little late to the party with Awesomenauts, but I kind of got it late, and on top of that, I wanted to play a lot of it before I kind of gave out my opinion, and I wanted to get somebody in here just to kind of bounce banter off of. And I know I did most of the talking, Josh, but I do appreciate you allowing me to bounce stuff off of you and kind of getting your input.
That's not a problem.
So I hope you guys actually try. If you're MOBA fans, I would personally suggest checking out Awesomenauts. What about you?
Definitely, but get someone to play it with, because randoms are idiots and they leave you for bots.
Leaving does happen. The punishment for leaving is not severe. It is barely severe at all. So, yeah, I think that'll be my snapshot for our Awesomenauts. This is kind of also another test. This is kind of a test snapshot with a co-op partner here, because I am going to be doing an indie snapshot on Torchlight 2 coming up very shortly. Keep an eye out with that. It will be with good old Josh here. So you will be seeing him again, and I will be seeing you again. Say goodbye, Josh.
See you guys.
Later, guys. All right, we're good.